So this week in our Ryback Delulu moment, he has now, since CM Punk is not around right now, he has turned all of his hate towards John Cena. So
I can't wait for this.
Cena has a bunch of them lying around his gym. So I mean, it's very,
not,
oh, brother, I'm not even that.
Can y'all not hear it? Did y'all hear it?
I can hear it.
A little echoey.
It's a little.
It's coming out of the
Yeah, I realized what's happening. This is live TVs, ladies and gentlemen, and I use a fucking Mac. So every time I change anything, I've got to go through 4 different loopholes to make it work. It's like a bad relationship. How's that?
Everything I tell you, it was
better.
It was disturbing, and like how open him, like in McIntyre, that his trainer, they had him just lying around, and like I'm like it just makes. I was like, it didn't look like. So for a place that was being contracted by WWE for developmental talents to train at, organized by them, it was like not like for that alone. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like it was just weird with it. But that whole thing too, that's not, I've talked about this before. Cena orchestrated that the FCW talents at the time, Florida Championship Wrestling, start working out at his gym, which by the way, we all are athletes who know how to work out. What he wanted to do was he brainwashed a bunch of the young guys to look up to him so that he can manipulate them politic-wise, where people didn't want to challenge him for his spot because he became buddy-buddy with them. I swear to God, this is one reason I didn't become buddy. I got the fuck out of it. I saw what was going on a million miles away.
I got it. Okay.
I'm stopping it right there. Did this motherfucker just say the reason why he didn't get over was because he didn't buddy up to John Cena?
Yeah.
Yes,
No, Bridget, that was definitely teeth. He goes on to talk about how John Cena used to put dildos all around the gym. And then
wait a second, he actually says that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going back to the video. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
I would purposely put dildos all over a gym just to get people's reaction. So, fuck you.
How far in the video does it go? Do you know?
It's like closer towards the end, I think.
Right, like what?
It's wild. It's absolutely wild to me that people can just be mediocre on the internet and be like successful.
Oh shit!
To that extent,
you're about to be so mad at this dude. Nobody in wrestling is gonna like this guy.
There's stuff that they share some things in common. I'm telling you, people are it'll all come out eventually. It'll all come out eventually.
It was like right before that he talked about back up just a little bit.
But everybody just wants to kind of like just whatever. There's a reason why Cena was buddy going on
before that.
All right, I'm over it.
Whatever. He talks about how John Cena used to put like dildos all over the gym to intimidate people.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's
intimidate people is wild.
If you
John
feel
Cena
like
made Nikki Bella sign a contract before she moved in with him. He doesn't seem like the I just happen to have spare dildos on me type.
Yeah.
If you go into his house,
Maybe
you have to put like booties on, or take your shoes off. There is no in between. You either have to be barefoot or you have to put booties over your shoes so you don't track stuff into his house.
I mean, listen, like I don't kink shame, but I do like kink question, and I really don't feel like John would be the one to just have spare dildos lying around besides the ones that he would have in his home. Like, I feel like that's just a bit much for John Cena.
Yeah.
I don't kink shame at all. I don't use any yums. But Bridget says, I like kink question. I think as women, you have to kink question.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's some fucking creep shows out there.
There's like when you tell me you want me to let me call you your daughter's name, like what do you mean by that? Can we just like work that out beforehand?
Yeah, that sounded no.
Okay, there.
And that's why questions are good.
Jesus, you have to ask questions 1,000%. Bridget says mini creeps. I told you it's not even wrestling. This is therapy. So again, every week we say it. As long as it's the most viewed segment on YouTube, I'll keep it on the show. It's in your hands, people. You decide whether or not this keeps coming back.
But like the fact that like he thinks that John Cena like used a gym to manipulate people to like not take his spot because he had the control over that. Like I feel like Ryback lives in this delusional place where he feels like these things are not predetermined and they're earned. Like, yes, they are earned in a sense, but like, what? What is wrong?
He thinks it's legitimately the UFC where you like lose. He thinks it's AEW where like the win, like lost records legitimately like mean something. Like someone should have told him before he got the job how it worked. But, you know, I think it's just like the fact that he only eats carnivore diet that could be affecting his brain. Who knows? You know, like when there's not a lot of vegetables in the diet.
Could we get a Liver King Ryback match though? Like with them two together? It's like
I'd watch it.
Bull testicle eating competition.
A bull testicle? There's no way to segue from bull testicles.
No, there's not.
So
You're welcome. You're welcome.
News and rumors, ladies and gentlemen. There's no segue from that.
Yeah. After Shayna Baszler was announced for Bloodsport, Dave Meltzer wrote that allowing a WWE contracted wrestler to work the WrestleMania week indie show with Triple H's call. Paul Levesque has a different view on these things than Vince McMahon had. Meltzer also said that he knows other indies want to bring in WWE talent in the wake of the Baszler Bloodsport announcement. Honestly, I think that this would be cool for them to send some of the talent out to the indie stuff WrestleMania week.
Absolutely. Like you said that that she was working Bloodsport. I believe that the person who trained her like works at Bloodsport as well. So like it's a good like coming home situation for her.
Josh Barnett, like the guy who runs Bloodsport, was her trainer at one point. Yes.
Exactly. And it's so funny to me that people are complaining that Shayna is working this WrestleMania weekend when isn't the whole point that as wrestling fans we're pissed off that WWE signs these people as independent contractors and then does not treat them as independent contractors. So this is probably the first time they've done it in a very long time. And I'm incredibly proud and happy for Shayna that she's going to get this well-deserved limelight on her because she is underutilized and she is talented and she is incredible. So why are we mad now? Why are we upset?
What are we upset about today?
I don't understand.
I think allowing WWE contracted talent to work the indies would allow people that are on the NXT roster or some of the younger talent that need the reps to work with approved companies. And this is one of the few times, I'll say it on record, WWE could learn from Tony Khan. Tony Khan has a short list of approved independents that his talent are allowed to work with. That's what WWE needs to do. Let them pick their few and go, you can go work with these guys as much or as little as you want to. Here's the 15 or 20 promotions you can go work. And let their talent get out there and get reps. I personally don't see anything wrong with it. I loved it again in the 70s and 80s when the territories were around and talent sharing was a thing. Shocker, the Forbidden Door hasn't always been there because Andre the Giant, you know why he kept that big? I talked about it in a TikTok video the other day. The reason why Andre the Giant stayed so big was because they treated him like a spectacle. They moved him from territory to territory so he stayed fresh. Like, you can do that with talent now. Allow your talent to go out and get fans organically in the indies. Fuck it. Send everybody out there. I want to see Seth Rollins at New South. Charlie Dempsey in New Japan. Or All Japan.
Absolutely. They need to remember that these are still people that can learn and grow and evolve, for lack of a better term. But like WWE is no longer the monopoly. They haven't been the monopoly in a very, very long time. And now WWE is kind of slowly trying to sneak it in. Like, oh, like we've always known that these other places have existed, even though we've never mentioned them before in the last like 5 to 10 years. But now they're trying to make it seem like they've been the cool parent all along. And I'd rather them do that than lie and say that AEW, ROH, New Japan, like these places don't exist when half of your roster have come from these places. So just bite the bullet and say the thing that everyone else knows, because we're not stupid, despite what the internet may say about us, and just let your talent grow and learn and evolve. It can only make your product better by getting more eyes on it and getting more money. Is that not the whole point of this?
It is the wrestling business, after all. But Dad Hat brings up a great point here. I kept it up for a reason. What happens though when this, or what happens though with this when WWE talent starts getting injured on the indies, because anything can happen at any time, and it goes away just as fast as it comes. And I hate to say it, but a lot of the times that's the risk. You have the same risk, and James can probably attest to this. It is almost equal the risk in WWE as it is on the indies. Every time you step in that ring, does the risk elevate depending on who you're working and where you're working? Absolutely. WWE, you could put Randy Orton in there with AJ Styles and it'll be one of the safest matches on the planet. You know what I mean? But I know guys on the independents that can equally work that safe. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I don't think it's mutually exclusive, because shit happens everywhere.